Richard Nikoley back with another cooking video, and to preface this, I've given up on cafes for breakfast for the most part, unless it's really high end, because I'm just always disappointed. They just don't do it. They use crap oil that tastes rancid. Their hash browns or potatoes come out, greasy and oily. Their bacon is too salty. They don't know how to do eggs properly, so on. So I'm going to do a simple meal. I'm going to cook a breakfast, and the ingredients are, of course, eggs. It's an egg breakfast. They're going to come with some potatoes. These are two small red potatoes that I've cubed up, and I'm going to cook them in coconut oil. And if you haven't tried that and you think you're going to get coconut flavor, it's not true. Red onions to go with red potatoes. I'll show you how to do that so it's nice so the onions don't get burnt and acrid. And instead of bacon or ham, the traditional, or sausage, the traditional breakfast proteins, I'm going to cut way down on the fat and bump up the protein by using a ground beef patty, which I'm going to grill outside. It's a great way. If you've ever had an egg breakfast with a nice grilled burger patty instead of the traditional breakfast foods, it's good. So these videos are all about the food and not about the fancy. We get fancy sometimes. And I'll do the eggs and butter, and I'm going to do them sunny side up, and I'll show you the best way to do that. Okay, so let me get going here. All right, I have the grill preheating outside for the burger, and I've got the pan fairly hot here for the potatoes. I like to use a wok to do breakfast potatoes because you can use less oil. You don't have to submerge them. I'm using about a heaping teaspoon of coconut oil, and a lot of that won't even be in the dish because I will strain the potatoes when we're done. And a lot of people lay a paper towel in a bowl or something like that to strain them. The better way is to use a mesh strainer. That way it does not soak up fat and make your potatoes soggy. I'll set that aside. So, coating the pan here, I will be showing you my method for this, which is flawless. Now this isn't this is just one helping. Usually I'm cooking this for several people. So first off, the potatoes go in. And pretty good amount of salt, which is a general rule for potatoes. So I'm doing 3 pinches of salt on that, and letting them knock them so that they're all sitting in the oil and they're all separated. And I don't put the onions in right away. The reason for that, come on, asshole. There we go. Come on. Break up. Should remember to do this once I cut them. I like to stick together. You need to bang them a bit. Okay. On high heat in the coconut oil, like this. And I'm gonna let them go a couple minutes. Toss them around. Another reason I like to use the wok is I can flip them around like that really easily. And the oil, you use a smaller amount of oil so it concentrates down in the bottom. So whereas with a flat pan, you're not kind of getting that same sort of thing. Now, what I'm going to do in order to not let the onions get crazy is I'm going to lay them on top of the potatoes for the first round of covered cooking. And yes, I cover. That reduces the time. So, onions on top, and then the cover. And I will keep that on until this little hole starts blowing out moisture precipitously, just to give you an overview. So I do the covered about 2 times, and each time when I pull the cover, I wipe off the inside of the lid with a dish towel or paper towel, whatever, so that you're removing a lot of the moisture from the potatoes, because that's half the problem, and that's why they come out soggy and not like succulent like you want them. All right, I'll be back. All right, these should be about ready for their first turn. So as I said, take off the lid, and I've got all that moisture in there. That doesn't need to be in the dish. So you quickly remove it out. Now we're going to flip. See how quickly they're already browning up nicely. Spread out a little bit more. They've got the onions in it. And go for another cover, and we're turning down to medium at this point. Actually kind of between medium and low. I'll be back. All right, grilling time as the onions are on the second round, or the potatoes and onions are on the second round. Grill reheated, high, 3 burners, internal temperature of just over 600 degrees. Yep. And we'll plop that baby in. Now, for a 1/2 inch burger, I usually do the first round covered, because it's thick. So unless you want to cook for 15 minutes to get and have it to be gray halfway through, if you cover, you get more of an even inside. For that size, typically covered for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then typically it'll be open for the rest of the time. When it starts oozing is when it's medium. All right, I'll be back. All right. Well, I've got 5 minutes before I have to, or 4 or 5 minutes before I have to flip the burgers. Let's continue with the potatoes here. And you might notice there's substantially less moisture on the on that glass lid, which tells you that the potatoes are probably pretty close to being done inside. So I wipe that off because I'm going to use it for the eggs. And now we just finish this off a little bit by stirring it, and those look pretty good. And do a little bit of a test here. More salt. Told you, potatoes need a lot of salt. Those onions look darker than they should on the video, but that's because they're red onions and they go that way. Okay, so those are done, and like I said, we'll strain them. Put it here where you can see it, see the process. It's not any big thing, and you just move that right in there, and you don't need to strain it out of the pan because the wire is doing your straining for you. All right, done there. Set that aside, and let's just reposition this because I'll show you what I'm going to do here. So just shake it a little bit like that, not much, and about a good third to half of a good third of the oil is out, and I'm plating it immediately just like that. And again, my same old trick with the oven on, and that sits under the vent there, and it keeps them warm while I finish the burger. So let's return to the grill. And there we go. And we leave it open. Should be no more than 2 minutes on that side. Do, 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 do. All right, you don't need to stand here and watch. It'll be about 2 minutes, and then I'll be back in the kitchen to do the eggs and the toast, and we'll be eating. Okay, time to do the eggs. So, pan hot, butter, let it melt. But in this application, I don't really want to brown that butter that much. I want to get the pan warm. These are more slow cooked eggs, so I turn the heat down because I'm doing them sunny side up. So let's not break a yolk here. Be very gentle, like that. Like that. So I'm now on low heat actually, because the idea is to cook the whites and warm up the yolk. And it's a good idea, just in case, the whites are pretty spread out here. Sometimes if you get a big lump of white, you want to do something like that. You can break the bubbles there too. And what we do, you don't want to cover too quick because they'll be sunny side up, but your yolks will be overdone. They'll be like just running on top, and it'll be all glazed over with that membrane of white. So you want to do it. And also, don't season until you cover. At this point, I'm going to split them in half, like that. Spatula. So that I have two distinct eggs without tearing the whites all to sunder. I'm going to reposition them more towards the inside here so that I can cover here in just a bit. Okay, they're just about good. Now I'm going to season them. Salt, pepper, and cover until that white is all done. Dum 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 dum. Okay, we're getting towards the end stage here. You noticed also, so my potatoes are over there under the warming thing, and my my hamburger steak is resting there under the warming plate, but on a separate plate. And the reason why is if I get too much drainage, kind of makes it look sloppy. So I'm not actually going to use that. I could pour a little bit on top of the burger after I plate it. We'll see how much is in there. So the eggs. Look to be good. See, no runny whites. Now here's a little trick. When you have like a big honking piece of white there, kind of screws up the presentation, so feel free to take that out, put it on the plate, and then you lay your eggs over it. And I can already see that the yolks are nice and jiggly still. So that's what you want. And then we will take the burger and place it right here. Come on. Come on, guys. Work with me a little bit here. Come on. Don't break a yolk. We still have photos to take. Get this out of the way so you can see what I'm up to here. So moving those potatoes. Move this egg a little bit there. Piece of white is kind of screwing with my presentation. Now, pop your, I should have popped the, let's see, I'm gonna actually do like this. Like this for the tomatoes. Or should I do like this? Guess I should do like that. Maybe like that. I don't know. Too small of a plate, huh? Okay. So, there it is. Now I'll wait for the toast to pop. And I will take a couple pictures.